Three biggest things that are keeping you skinny fat that you can change right now. These are actual mindset things that I struggled with for years, that I see my clients also struggle with for years, that keep them in this soft, skinny, small arm, big boobs, big belly type look that we want to get rid of, especially as a South Asian, right? And the first thing is going to be chasing perfection, right? A lot of us, when we get into this area of wanting to get better, we spend so much time researching. How many calories should I be eating? Should I be cutting or bulking? What's the best program? What's the best exercise? Am I doing this correctly? Is my schedule optimal? And we spend so much time researching instead of actually doing some sort of action. And the big thing with skinny fat is you can see it right away is these people have spent so much mental brain power that to them it feels like they've done so much. To you it feels like you've done so much work, but you haven't even stepped into the gym. You haven't even made a change with your nutrition. You haven't done anything tangible that's actually going to move the needle forward. You just sat at your desk, you sat on your phone, just mentally masturbating to what's going on. And the biggest thing that you can take away from that is start by relentlessly executing. When you find a piece of information, go out and use it right away. If it's eat more protein, go downstairs, have a protein bar, eat some chicken, get some tofu in. If it's going to the gym, find something and stick to that plan, right? Oftentimes there's so much information out there with how to do this and how to do that. If you want like the full nutrition framework on what you should be doing, I dropped a video on that earlier. I think I called it the 3-step nutrition framework for escaping the skinny fat curse. So you can check out that video, and that's going to give you a good idea of how to do your nutrition, tell you when to cut, when to not cut, when to go into a bulk, when to not go into a bulk, and give you all these things, right? So check out that video. Follow that to a T and do it long enough. Make sure you're going to the gym. Do it long enough. Make sure you're doing it consistently. This thing of being consistent for 2-3 weeks and then falling off and coming back on, that's what keeps you skinny fat, because you're not consistently giving your body what it needs. You're giving your body the stimulus that it needs to transform into the person that you want to become. Number 2, skinny fat guys get bullied around so much. And maybe that's because you were bullied when you were younger. Maybe that's because you didn't have any respect when you were younger and you're this people pleaser type of person, but you can't say no. Can't say no to your wife. Can't say no to your mom. Can't say no to when someone asks you to go for a drink. When your wife says, "Oh, let's go have this," you just go with it. You're like, "Okay, yeah, I deserve it." You enable each other. No, it's just because you can't set boundaries. Your body is representation that you have been giving yourself away or disrespecting your boundaries or not even having boundaries in place and allowing people to take advantage of that, right? If someone asks for something, you go and do it. You don't prioritize the things that need to be prioritized. You don't prioritize the things at home. You don't prioritize your finances. You don't prioritize the way you look. You don't prioritize the way you feel, because you're constantly giving out everything that you have to other people, whether that's your comfort, whether that's your time, whether that's the way you're eating. You can say no. And the hardest thing that I struggled with for the longest time was being able to say no to these things and understanding that it was actually for my benefit. Because by not spending my time, by not eating the thing, by not drinking the thing, by not smoking the thing, whatever it may be, you're putting it back into yourself, which is going to allow you to become the best version of yourself. It's going to actually force you to understand what you're becoming, and that person is going to be able to serve the people that truly matter in your life a lot better than the one that just says yes to everything. Because when it comes to indulging on things, when it comes to indulging at a wedding, or when it comes to going out for date night, when it comes to getting ice cream because your partner wants it, your physique, you look the way you do because you've been indulging your whole life. Don't you think to change, you're going to have to cut some of that out, at least temporarily for a period of time? Yes, you can eat ice cream and look really, really good. But you're going to have to eat significantly less ice cream on the way to getting in shape, as opposed to what you've been eating so far that's kept you skinny fat. You're going to have to make sacrifices. It's not going to be easy to look amazing. Some people do. People that are skinny fat, usually not. And if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're pretty fucking sick and tired of where you're at. You're sick and tired of being skinny fat. So that means you have to be uncomfortable with taking some action. Because everything you're doing right now is comfortable. It's very easy to watch a video on how to escape being skinny fat or 3 mistakes you're making. It's a lot more uncomfortable to step out there and actually put in what I'm saying to use day by day, week by week, month by month, because that's what actually transforms the way you look. That's what actually transforms the way you feel. That's when you actually take your shirt off. You look good in the mirror. That's one part. You're like, wow, I built that. But two, it's knowing that you kept your word to the thing that you said you were going to do. And thus far, you haven't been able to do that. Because right now you feel a certain way. I promise you'll feel a billion times better when you follow through with everything and you look at the man in the mirror and you're actually proud of what you become. Because at that point, that feeling is just immense. Like you'll never get close to that doing what you're doing right now. But you have to stack your way up. You have to be able to say no to things. You have to do things when it's a little bit hard. You have to do things when it's really hard. You have to do things when it's really hungry. And once you can get past that, that's when you can not only build your body into this rock hard, like jacked physique, but that's how you mold your brain and your mind as well. And the third mistake is forgetting why you're starting in the first place. And this is why we often fall off track. This is why we stop going to a gym. This is why we fall off our diet. And it's to understand that you started this journey for a reason. You started this journey because you don't look very good. And when I was first on my way to losing all the weight and escaping the skinny fat look, I put my before picture on my desk. I put a before picture in the bathroom and I would see it every morning. Not even my reflection. I would see this picture. And that was a constant reminder for me to understand why I was doing this in the first place. People always talk about self-love or body positivity. You don't like your body. That's why you're watching this video. That's totally okay. But you have the power to change it. And every time you go out and make these decisions that don't line up with the person that you want to be, it's because you've forgotten why you're doing this in the first place. I promise you, if you went to a party and your home screen or your lock screen was a picture of you fat as fuck, you probably would not eat as much as you should be. Sure, is this unhealthy? Maybe. But you looking at yourself with your tits and the gut falling over your pants, that's probably unhealthy as well. Probably more unhealthy, I'd argue. Right? So understand why you're doing the thing. Give yourself reminders. Put it up near your desk. Put it in the gym locker room, wherever it has to be, where you can see it. You don't have to show other people. But that's going to allow you to understand your why. Maybe you're not doing it for yourself. Maybe you're actually a little bit more noble than I am and you're doing it for your kids. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for your wife. That's why people put pictures of their family at work. Because they understand, oh, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my kid. I'm doing this because it reminds them of the pain that they would bring to the person in the picture, or it reminds them of the pain that they're feeling right now. Because you'll never change if you're not uncomfortable with your situation. Because the discomfort that you're feeling now has to be greater than the discomfort that you feel when you're trying to change. Because let's be honest, change is not comfortable. And once those two things match up, that's when you can stay consistent and stay at it. But those are 3 things you can do right now to change the way you feel, to change the way you understand your situation, so you're actually consistent and escape that skinny fat curse. If you want more tips like that one, follow me for more. And check out my page on Instagram as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.